Hey y'all, Joyful Friday. My name is Anissa and this is Journeying with Jesus. So, if you've been here for a while, you're probably wondering what happened to the previous Journeying with Jesus videos. And I thought it was time to switch things up a little bit. And so, here we are. And if you are new here, then welcome. I hope that this is the place for you. And pretty much Journeying with Jesus is just a place for me to share my testimony, personal stories, poems, talks, whatever else God has it to grow into. I'm really just trying to start somewhere. And so, yeah, it's just pretty much a glimpse into my personal journey with Jesus. And I also hope that it could become a place where we talk about our journey with Jesus. You know, we talk about the ups and downs, we talk about the questions, the stresses, we talk about so much stuff as a body and as a family. And I believe that regardless if you're a Christian or you're not a Christian, that you are on a journey. And I think it's important for children of God to remember this when we're talking to people, because it will help us to maybe have a little bit more compassion, give some grace, give kindness, give love, because we can remember that we have not always been where we are now. And even when we may have gotten super far, they may have been a detour, they may have been another turn that we didn't see there. There have been things along the journey that we just didn't see coming. So when we talk to other people, we can kind of remember where we came from, and hopefully that will help just help in some way. I don't know. Well, I do know. I just think that it will help in some way and just give people a little bit more understanding, and hopefully less arguments and more talks and discussions, things of that sort. So, the beginning of this year I knew was kind of like a time of rest, but I didn't know that 2024 was going to go how it went. And in this year, I was pretty much aware that I was into numerology, divination, mysticism. It was like God unveiled the truth to me, like freedom really came. And I realized I was following these things for so long, and it started to influence my life, influence how I talk to people, influence what I said, what I wore, influence how I view people. It influenced so much in my life, and it really started to influence my mind and cause me to lose weight and do so much stuff that just wasn't the norm to me. And by God's grace, he was still speaking to me when I needed it, when I was feeling like I was like in the deepest of the valleys. He was giving me that bread to keep me going. He was providing for me. He was sending people to just tell me a word. He was sending verses. He was sending songs. He was just sending so much to me. And I think it was just gracious for him to do that, even when I was doing things I didn't have no business doing. And I thought that the numbers and stuff were from God. I really did think that they were from God, but I saw that I was fooled. And so the main thing that I know I want us to know as God's children is our identity in him. If we don't know who we are and whose we are, then it's going to be kind of hard to know how to walk. It's going to be maybe a little bit more easy for us to fall into lies. But once we look into the mirror, once we look into the word and we know our identity, then things completely change. And when I was into the numerology and stuff, it was literally affecting like what I would eat and things like that. Like if I would see a number, I wouldn't eat that. But in the Bible, it talks about things pertaining, like it talks about things that say you shouldn't eat this or you shouldn't do that, you know, worship of the angel. It talks about those things, but I didn't have understanding like I should have. So once we have our word, which is our mirror, we'll be able to really see who we are. And once a lie comes, we'll be able to say, my mirror, this don't reflect that, so that's not true. And I really want a lot of people to be free and be able to walk into their identity. And this was the year that I do feel like I came back home in Christ. I came back home. I was able to, feel more love, feel more restoration, feel more grace. I was able to forgive. And I really want a lot of God's children to come back home, to get out of the world. If you know the story of the prodigal son, and if you don't, it went a little, this is not the real version, but a little, like in simple terms, a father gave his son his inheritance, I believe. Then the son went out into the world, spent the money, then hit rock bottom, and then realized, like, pretty much I need to go back home. And I also want to add right fast that he confessed to his father that he had sinned. So yeah. And then he came back home, and the father celebrated him coming home. So I do believe that there are a lot of sheeps in the world that need to come back home and know that true love is God. This world will offer counterfeits. This world will offer lies. And it's not going to satisfy what your soul is longing for. I'm just telling you this right now. The world is not going to satisfy what your soul is longing for. So yeah, so pretty much Journey with Jesus is that. I hope that y'all enjoy. I hope that we can help each other. I hope this opens up to a space that we can just all talk about different things and be open and honest. And I really hope that people will be able to be free and walk as the person that God says we are. That we will be clean, that we will be purified, that we will be restored, renewed, all of that good stuff by his grace, and that we would know the truth so that we can be free. I hope that you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video. Love, joy, and peace.